That's so cool. What an honor.
The thing about Manny is he's saying that he's insecure about it, but I personally have used photos he's taken for my book, for my website, for
social
media, for marketing Now I Thrive. So I feel like you should probably give some of those photos a look. And I'm really excited about the photos you took for the book.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him and hold them I mean, I did see him, but a
copy of it in the book. Yeah. Because I also put Manny J Media, Manny Alvarado. You are the photographer. You and your business.
And when we get our shelving system back here and stuff, we're gonna have that displayed.
You and your work.
Yeah, our
work together.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it is.
And I mean, we've been on a trend of our work pretty much since we met.
I had to give you a nudge, but
you did.
Here you are.
I was very stubborn, and I'm glad that you have a very forceful nudge in the best way possible.
It's a very loving nudge.
It was a very loving.
It's a very I'm holding space for you to not say yes, but I still would love if you did.
Right. No, you kind of dragged me by the ear and pulled me through because you knew I was special in some sort of way, and you pulled it out of me, and here we are today. Yeah. And so thank you for being one of those driving forces in the Manny J Media success story.
I feel like we should tell the story now.
Yeah.
I feel like we should tell you.
We should talk about you because that's why you're here today.
I do want to talk about me, but what's a funny story? So, Manny and I actually met at one of Blue Flamingo.
Paul Hernandez.
Of
Blue Flamingo. Yeah.
Blue Flamingo. We met at one of his events.
Shout out to Paul. We love him.
Yes, we do. And he was talking to me about his business, and I was working for E4All all the time.
Yes, you are.
And I was like, you need to come and apply to E4All. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, sure, maybe, I don't know. And I'm really persistent, and I especially was very persistent with entrepreneurs who I felt like had something when I worked for E4All. So I kept reaching out to Manny and being like, hey, you started filling out the application, but I haven't seen you finish it yet.
Which, by the way, that application is serious. And I don't say that as a deterrent to anybody who's interested in the E4All program. I say that as an E4All is very thorough, and they want to make sure that the people who are applying to the program are serious about it and
have done their research and are
done what they got to do. Yeah, but it's a pretty lengthy and serious application process that I'm not a big fan of because I'm not a reader nor am I a writer. It's just that's me. But I did it.
He did it, and he got an interview and he got into the program, and now he is a huge success story at E4All. I would say.
I mean, I think I am. I said I am.
Keep the confidence.
Right,
don't even think it was a pleasure to be a part of that.
And now look how far we've come. I've gone from being an entrepreneur. What do we call them?
A mentor.
Well, I was just saying this. I was going to say student, but that wasn't the right word. But whatever. An entrepreneur in the program. To yes, a mentor and
a judge.
A judge at the finale of one of the cohorts.
Yeah.
And then now I am hosting the E4All radio show, which is pretty cool. Called The Journey with E4All, so make sure you tune in.
Full circle moment.
How crazy is that, by the way?
Beautiful.
And because you've been through my journey, you know what my journey consists of. And not only to have it be full circle with E4All, but back at Unity Radio as well.
It's very cool to watch, to be quite honest.
Because I was miserable for a little while.
I know.
But I got it together.
And you're thriving.
And I'm thriving. Look at that.
Thriving.
I love that. We are thriving. But enough about me. My story it's fun, and it is fun to tell. But I want to know about your journey and why you're here today. And I just want to say my perspective of how our journey together was. And you're right, we did meet at one of Paul Hernandez's Blue Flamingo event at Electric Haze. I want to shout out the Electric Haze. Amazing local venue here. And, oh my God, I'm having a brain. Victoria Mariano. Is that right?
Yeah.
John, did I get the right name? Shout out to Victoria. We love her as well. Does so much good in the community. And they are having a block party very soon. I'll get the date for you. We'll tag it up above. I want to shout that out because all the work that Victoria does in the community, we should be supporting her.
Absolutely.
In that venue.
She's a powerhouse.
And she's amazing. And all the support she gives to local artists. And she's just, go support Electric Haze. But that's where we met. And shout out also to Armida, because you guys were together. And, that's kind of one of the magnets that helped draw us together. And yes, you were in E for All doing your thing. But then you left E for All, which was a very pivotal moment in my life. I was sad. I was scared. I have like abandonment issues, and we're dealing with that. We're good now. But I thought I'd never see you again. And then in reality, I saw you so much more, and I saw you growing every day and going from one position to another, just climbing higher and higher. And I was like, look at this lady, and on top of it all, she's my friend. Like it was just so cool to watch you grow, and not only in the professional arenas that you're in with the city of Worcester, but also in your personal, professional business ventures and dreams and goals. And that brings us to Prism of Brilliance, which, again, from my recollection, kind of started like you were just. I remember Nuestra. Yeah. Shout out to Natalie Rodriguez, and you're doing some of your workshops there. Very humble, very simple, very just. We're all in a nice big room together, sharing our energy, which was amazing. I went to one of those, and like the best soul massage I ever received. By the way, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But now you've gone from using spaces that you would have on a, I guess, like a buy-in basis once in the, I don't know what to say.
Well, I mean,
not permanent basis.
I still do some of those non-permanent places. So, like, I do Govinde Yoga Health, which operates in the old church on Main Street. Mm-hmm. I do something with them every once in a while, and that is a donation based. And so the proceeds, I get a small amount, and the proceeds go to their nonprofit as well. And then the Van Gogh experience out of Exhibition Hub.
That's what I wanted to talk about too. Van Gogh, how cool is that?
It's a very cool experience.
Like, that's a big thing. Like, you have the Van Gogh experience, which is very popular, very well known, now attached to your brand.
Yeah, and so I get to, and they're staying Exhibition Hub. They're switching exhibitions soon. I don't know if it's public what they're switching to. I know what it is.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Are you going to break some news here?
I don't think I can.
Yes, you can.
I don't think I can.
Nobody watches this.
I think what are you talking about? It is so exciting. It's still going to be art-based. And I'll be continuing working with them throughout their time here in Worcester. So I'm excited to continue doing it in a different art space. And so I do that. I do also get hired by companies a lot too. So I will go to companies and organizations and do workshops and
so you do private events.
I do private events. Awesome. And then I also do the Salt Cave in Acton. It's called the Salted Soul. So I do still travel.
What? Yeah. I didn't know about that. Yeah. You tell me about this.
I did. It's okay.
It's a poor memory of mine. We gotta go, Charisse. We gotta go to the Salt Caves with Margie. Like, what are we doing here?
That is probably my favorite place to play. It's only 10 people can fit in the space, but it feels like we're in an ancient cave. So
okay, when are we doing this? When is your next workshop for that? I got to know.
It is July 23rd. It's like the Wednesday. It's that.
Okay, we're putting this on the calendar.
If it's not the 23rd, it's the 24th, whatever that Wednesday is.
And where are tickets available?
If you go to the Salted Souls website, you can get them.
Okay, can you spell that for me? I'm not even playing right now. Salted, Salted. Okay.
Yeah, Salted Soul.
Oh, I like that. Salted Soul. We are in there. Yeah, and so you only can fit 10 people. So we already got 2 tickets, so there's only 8 spots left, guys. Get down.
It's really, honestly, it's a magical experience. So I do a journey in the cave. So we're doing a lot of journeying drumming, and I'm bringing all the instruments to bring us in like a route to rise, expanding, contracting experience. It's really cool. So there's a lot of guided meditation in that, a lot of breath work. It's fun.
Yeah, no, and it is. Honestly, before I attended one of your workshops, I was like, nah. It seemed boring. It seemed like I breathe all day, every day. I don't want to go paid to breathe, right? It seemed like some wacko third world medication. I don't know. I just I wasn't about that life. And then I went because you're my friend, and I really wanted to support you because you support the hell out of me. And I was so wrong.
You were.
I was so pleased to be proven wrong.
And for those, he hasn't said it yet, but he actually like calls me a lot for advice and support. So, it wasn't so woo woo after all.
Not so much, just right. And I've tried to dial it back because I know that you have so much going on, from your family to your business to your everyday career. But yes, whenever I am in need for some soul massaging or some
grounded love,
that and the little angel on your shoulder that just kind of keeps you grounded, like you said, I call my Miss Margie. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. And when you don't answer, then I call Amita. And I try not to bother Amita, even though she tells me I can bother her anytime. But I really try not to. But you guys are amazing.
It's really not a bother, though. Not bothering us.
Maybe I should change my vocabulary on that.
You might want to think about that. Yeah. You're not a bother. If we don't answer, this means we didn't have the space in that moment, and we'll call you back.
Right.
It's not a bother.
And you always do. Yeah. So I don't want you to think like that. I think.
Listen,
anything
if you did, it wouldn't have nothing to do with me. That's
it's a me thing, right? Yes, and we need to work on that if we needed to, but we don't because there's nothing, right?
Yeah,
we're good.
We're good.
All right. So going back to your workshops, I was never so happy to be proven wrong. I went in there, and I was in a familiar space because it was the West Side, so I think that helped for me to just be centered and be cool with the whole experience and actually do it. Have you ever been into a space where you're so distracted by it being a new space you can't focus on why you're there?
No.
It's in my ADHD, maybe.
Honestly, I don't know, but
all the tiny things. I'm like, I can't focus. Exactly, scroll. But you set up the space to where it feels familiar, it feels safe, it feels warm and inviting. And because part of it is you're really letting your guard down and being vulnerable, I think.
You are. You don't have to be a safe space.
Closing your eyes amongst strangers is scary.
It can be.
And then focusing on your breathing where you might make some noises that you're not very familiar with, right? Because you're not doing the type of breathing that you're coaching us to do. But once you're able to get in that zone and focus and do your thing, it's literally an out of this world experience.
It's, I do bring you to the cosmos. So
you do.
We're traveling there. We're going with the flag over.
It's a whole different kind of high. It's a natural high, honestly.
Well, the thing is, anything that you can do with a man-made drug, you can do with breath work and meditation and intention.
Really?
To go there. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And plant medicine. You don't need plant medicine either, though. You can do that without it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I promise you.
I mean, I really like plant medicine. But that's a whole other thing. We're not going to go there. But, so you've grown this business to now a place where you were able to get yourself secured in a brick and mortar location. Yes. Congratulations on that. That's so amazing. Tell me a little bit about that process and that journey, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are watching who may have an idea for a small business or may have already be well into their business where they're doing pop-ups or using temporary locations and just don't know how to get themselves into more secure, permanent or quasi-permanent location. What did that process look like for you?
I'm not gonna lie, it was really easy for me.
Well, you worked. Let's be completely transparent and real. You work for the city and literally know everyone.
I actually didn't know this person before. So I'll tell you the story. What happened? So,
please.
I've been dreaming of an in-person space for a while, and I have done journeys around like what does that space look like. I've connected with a tree because the ultimate goal is to own a big piece of land where I both have a center on it and I live on it.
Yeah.
And like a community style.
Oh, that's pretty
with
cool.
a farm and like chickens and things and space.
But not like a cult.
Not like a cult.
I just want to point that out.
Not like a cult. Everyone has free will. We're working with nature, just so we're part of the land, right? Like actually considering all living things, including the living, breathing earth that we're on.
Yeah.
And so I had done journeys and traveled to connect with that space. And a lot of the time I was connecting with a tree and when I was traveling. in the ethers, you know?
Yeah.
And so I had it stuck in my head that that's where I needed to be. So we were actually, me and my husband and our family were like looking for a house to buy with a large plot of land. And we just hadn't found anything that was really it. And I live on Grafton Hill, so I drove past this space a lot, and I didn't even know that it was a business. I didn't even recognize it was a business. And then all of a sudden, I see like a for rent sign on the outside of this place, and I became obsessed. I was like, I need to get in contact with these people. It was being shown by Kelleher and Sadowski, and I was like, I want to see this space. I'm obsessed with it. I was actually also trying to put my mind out of it because I was like, no, like that's not right. It's not a big piece of land. There's no water there.
It wasn't your initial
it wasn't my vision. I need to connect with a tree. This isn't it. But in my body, it was like echoing this like family tree. And I was like, no, it's a physical tree. And I tried to ignore my own intuition.
Yeah.
And
this was literally telling you it doesn't have to be what you think it has to be.
Right. And I was like, no, stop.
It's more metaphorical.
Well, and this is just the starting point. So why I say family tree is so my family has owned the house that we live on Grafton Hill, a traditional Worcester 3-decker for 100 years. And my grandfather and my uncle used to own a business on Grafton Hill as well.
Okay.
So the street itself is very resonant to my family because we've lived there and held businesses there for a long time. And so I finally got in touch with Kelleher and Sadowski to see the space. And within 48 hours, I was getting the keys.
Wow.
And so I didn't know the person who owned it. His name's Greg. Shout out to Greg. He's amazing. I'm so excited for he's also like a local Worcester native guy.
Oh, nice.
His wife works at Clark University as a professor. She teaches in the education department there. Incredible people. They live over on the other side of Grafton Hill, like on the other side of Hamilton Street.
Oh, wow. So neighbors.
How
great is that?
He grew up in Belmont Hill area, but he didn't know me. He didn't know my family. She didn't know me or my family, but it was kismet. It was really like synchronistic meetings and events.
And I love that people are supporting each other, literally Worcester natives, both with different needs coming together, supporting each other, uplifting each other, and now even here you are giving, sorry, say his name again? Greg. An extra shout out and uplifting him even more, even after you're settled. We're going to talk about more of that in just a moment, but first, we have some amazing sponsors out there who really care about what we do here at Manny J Media and care about our community. So we want to let you know who they are. We'll be right back in just a moment here on InnerViews. Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, Manny, and welcome back to InnerViews. Here with my friend, Miss Margie, of Prism of Brilliance. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for coming back. Right before we went to thank our amazing sponsors, which, like, how cool is that? That people are literally helping to sustain what we do here in the community.
It's all about community support and uplifting one another, so I love that.
And that was one of the things we talked about in EFRAL after all, which is how this business here was going to sustain and thrive throughout the years. And I didn't believe it when I was doing it, but it's actually
here. It is
doing it.
It is doing it.
It's happening. It's so crazy. Like, believe in yourself, people. That imposter syndrome could be really serious, but it's literally in the name, right? It's an imposter. It's not real.
It's not even you. It's not even your voice.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Yeah, it's an annoying little natty voice.
So we don't even have to agree with that.
We're not listening to that anymore.
We can cancel, delete, unsubscribe. We can just...
I like that. Unsubscribe.
Yeah, just like view it and not attach yourself to it.
I like that.
Yeah.
And it's really hard not to do because it's kind of like sticky paper and on the fly. I can't help myself. It's like, and... But
you can, because you have free will.
I can.
You can.
Yeah, I'm not a fly either.
You're not a fly.
All right. Moving on back to the conversation we were having. You got your keys. Congratulations. How did that moment feel?
It was really incredible. So the whole process again of like meeting with the guy, seeing the space, like he welcomed me into his home. That's where I met his wife. So that we could, exchange keys and the check and do all of those things. And it was really cool because his wife had like looked at my business and she had book recommendations for me because she's works at Clark and has a lot of like, information around what I want to do my PhD in, which is organizational behavior. So she like printed.
What does that mean?
A PhD in organizational
you're talking
behavior.
Too fast, and I heard PhD in organizational behavior.
Yeah.
And really heard PhD in behavior, and I think that might be an important point to highlight.
Yeah, so organizational behavior, having a PhD in organizational behavior will mean I am directly observing the way that organizations, communities, teams operate.
Ooh.
And the function of my research will be to show what I do in the world, if integrated into teams and communities, changes the way that the community operates.
Okay.
So I'll be doing research on that to prove that on a real research scientific level.
Will it assist in how organizations behave or operate as far as like, the bad things that they do out there every now and then?
So it would create a new system for them to function inside of, yes.
Okay.
So it would shift it would not be profit over people, it would be people over profit. And so people would shift the way they're operating because they wouldn't be focused on how much this person is outputting. They would be focused on the wellness of each person and then the wellness of the collective.
I love that. Imagine that. It's almost like our country could be like that, yeah?
If you start small, then it grows bigger because it only takes
you got to start
ripple.
somewhere.
Yeah, it takes one ripple at a time, one person at a time, one moment at a time.
Well, I want to get back to your keys in your business, but first, since we're here on our country,
it came out.
It did come out. We were actually trying to figure out how we were going to do this because it's not an easy topic to bring up, and maybe can even be like annoying like enough already. We don't want to talk about it, but I think it's so important to talk about because it could be a real slippery slope. And we are in a pivotal moment. And I mean, I'm nervous. So I can imagine so many people being downright scared. And I don't want to be one of those media outlets that like sensationalize.
So we're not going to.
Right. What I want to do is I want to help people who may be feeling a type of way, especially after the big BS bill was passed and, ICE is out there running crazy. Excuse me. How can we as a community or even as individuals not subscribe to that? Even though it's very real.
It's very real.
And it can reach any one of us at any time. I mean, we've seen in the media.
We've seen it in our community.
Prominent people being affected. How can we live each day without that extreme fear and nervousness, that anxiety? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think my biggest suggestion is that allow the feelings to come when they're there.
Yeah.
It's not that when you do...
So we don't have to ignore it.
No, I don't want you to ignore the feeling because the feelings are information. They're not good or bad. They're not something we should not... They're just something we shouldn't attach ourselves to.
Yeah.
We don't have to attach our identity to an emotion.
Okay.
We have to take the information from the emotion and then let that lead us to action. Okay. So when fear is giving us the information, how can we transform that into action that will serve the highest good of all. Not action that's born from the fear, action that we can transmute. Like, how can we use that fear to fuel advocacy? How can we use it to fuel what we want to work for? And so only in community can we do that. We can't do that in a silo because you need other people to do that in community and also hold space when someone falls. Because the fact of the matter is that we are going to have human emotions because we are human beings and things are happening beyond our control, but we don't have to stay there. So it's finding the practices that allow us not to stay there, that work for each individual, and then the community really coming together to lift one another up. Yeah. And so find who that is for you. Find those practices of is it breath work? Is it going out in nature? Is it hiking? Is it kayaking? Is it journaling? Is it music? Is it, stamping your feet like you're having a toddler temper tantrum? Like whatever.
Or having conversations.
Working through, observing it and not attaching yourself to it as an identity, because fear and worry and doubt and judgment don't need to be our identity. No. Although they are.
And it gives you gray hairs. I know. Look at all these.
I don't mind the gray hairs. I call them my wisdom lights.
I love that.
They're my wisdom lights. I have gained wisdom through these gray hairs.
I'm never coloring these. These are all my wisdom lights, and I love them.
I haven't dyed my hair in 7 years.
Yeah. We gotta own it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we are getting older, and
I earned these.
Yeah.
I earned this gray hair.
Yeah, you put a lot of work in.
I put a lot of work in for it, and so I think that the idea of not attaching yourself to the emotion and allowing yourself to feel it, because the thing is there is scary things coming.
Yeah.
So it's okay to be scared. Don't not notice the fear. It's just don't decide to let the fear rule you. Right? You're in control. The emotion is not in control. You are.
Yeah, that was one of the questions I had. Because I often, when I talk to you, when I talk to Armida, one of the things you guys tell me is like, Manny, you can't control anything but you.
You can't.
And in those moments where I may have anxiety or I feel like I'm losing control or whatever, it's like I remember you saying that, but all I want to do is fix the situation. I have no idea how to control myself because I'm not focused on that. So
how can you fix the situation if you're not centered?
Well, how do I get myself centered in a situation like we have going on right now?
Practice the pause. Don't react from the fear. Like, don't react inside of the emotion. Allow yourself to navigate through it. Mm-hmm. And once the emotion is past, then act from there.
Okay.
Right?
So you have a clear and level head.
Level head. So it's like, what is that practice for you to practice the pause? Is it meditation? Is it going out in nature? Is it journaling? Is it breath work? Is it all of them so that you have...
Is it visiting Prism of Brilliance?
Is it visiting Prism of Brilliance? Is it going to yoga? What is that going to be for you? For my husband, it would be like, let me get on my motorcycle and go on a drive. Mm. That wouldn't be it for me. Right. Mine would be like, let me do a mantra. Let me do some vocals toning. Let me do some movement. Let me play my drum. Okay. That would be the things that are going to bring me back to my center. Yeah. What's going to be bringing back you to your center is going to be different.
Right.
So each individual has to find what that is. But also, again, not attaching yourself to the emotion and not attaching yourself to someone else's emotion. Mm-hmm. Because if you want to raise the vibration, if you go down with theirs, no one's holding it. Yeah. No one's raising it because you're going down.
Now, there's been a lot of people who have been reactionary to everything that's going on, protesting or holding rallies, particularly in City Hall, frustrated, don't feel like they're being heard. How can we on a personal level speak our mind, but still be okay, if you know what I'm trying to say, with not being heard if like they're clearly showing they're not hearing us?
It's not that they're not hearing, it's that they're not trying to listen.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Preach, girl. Tell me more.
Yeah, it's not that they're not hearing us, it's that they're choosing not to listen.
Okay.
And so a peaceful protest, I'm all about community coming together and peacefully protesting and having their voices be heard. Yeah. It also invites people to feel like they're in community and with other people.
And you can see that you're not alone, right?
You can physically see that you're not alone.
Yeah.
And that is also how coalitions are born. That's how movement is born, is by people coming together and starting to awaken in masses, right? That is the mass awakening.
Right.
So it's not that the protest doesn't need to happen, it's what is happening with the protest. Is the protest born out of fear and you're storming and yelling hateful things? Are you mating hate with hate? Or are you coming and focusing on what you want to see instead of what you don't want to see? Because energy flows where attention goes, and then we attract more of it. So if we're focused on all the things that we don't want to see, and that's what we're going and we're protesting and we're saying, fight, 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 guess what we're attracting? That's what we're attracting.
Fights.
We're attracting that.
We're attracting the stuff that we don't want to see.
We're saying that we don't want something, but then we are doing that thing and becoming that thing.
Projecting that negative energy.
We're projecting that heavy and dense. We're projecting that judgment. We're projecting that fear. We're meeting the hatred and the oppression with another rock, another boulder. How is anything shifting there?
Right. Fire meets fire.
Yeah, we don't want fire meets fire. We want to be the water, and we want to go with the path of least resistance. And we want to do that hand in hand, heart in heart. We don't want to do that boulder smashing.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you, because I needed some tips on how to get through this, because it's been a nerve-wracking. What has it been? 6 months?
Only.
Jesus. But luckily, as you just suggested, basically shifting our energy, shifting our focus, and with your new space, you're giving us a physical place to do that.
It is literally a portal into another dimension.
So tell me about now what I can expect if I were to visit Prism of Brilliance.
So if you come into Prism of Brilliance, I have one-on-one services. So I do transformational energy sessions. I do energy for life coaching. I do past life recognition sessions. I do some other things one-on-one. But then I also do a lot of group things. So there's going to be group meditation. There's going to be group sound. There's going to be group journeying. I have some other things in the works. I'm also bringing in other practitioners and facilitators so that there's more of a community vibe, because I can't do everything. I can't be everywhere. There needs to be others in the space cultivating and stewarding, way showing with me. So coming into the space, it is literally like a cosmic, magical jungle happening in there. My sister is visiting from Florida, and she's painting a beautiful mural on the wall.
It's gorgeous.
So magical. So
thank you for sharing the little sneak peek that you did.
It's amazing. So I actually she lives in Florida, and I was sending her pictures of what I wanted this the wall to look like and all the things that I was starting to purchase. And she was like, when I visit, can I actually paint that for you?
That's so cool.
And I was actually going to get a wallpaper cling thing. And I was like, that would be so much more special.
Yeah, and personal. Right.
And you can make
her spirit will always be there with you.
Exactly. And awesome. we put essential oils in the paint. So that's all in there. And, I've been going with her when she's painting and playing music and just hanging and watching. And it's really cool to watch it really start to take shape as every time we go and we paint a little bit more. But that wall and the ceiling is all going to be painted.
Oh, we have the ceiling even.
The ceiling is going to be painted too. And so it's just going to look like you're walking into a different dimension. It already feels like that when you're walking in, but it's going to look like that too. And so what I want it to be like a window into your soul, a window into a portal of your soul is what it feels like. And then in the back, so it's got a very big parking lot, and in the back there's a little lawn that I can also use for outdoor things. If I want to do a twilight meditation, if someone's hosting yoga, they can do it out on the lawn. But how I told you my vision, there was water.
Yeah.
And I was
Did you carve a river in your back?
No, there's already, this is part of the reason why I wanted the place when I actually saw it, is that there is a creek running through the back.
That's so cool.
Which you would not know existed on Grafton Hill.
In Worcester.
In Worcester.
In the middle of Worcester, yeah.
In the middle of Grafton Hill, there is a little creek that my family's been there for 100 years, and I didn't know it was there. My dad didn't know it was there. My aunt didn't know it was there. This little creek runs through the back. So doing things outside, you're literally on the lawn with a creek running next to you.
That's crazy. And I just want to say, because I know how that just sounded in my head, I know there's creeks in Worcester. It's just when I think of saying creeks in Worcester, a Grafton Hill,
you don't think of that.
Neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
So you don't think of a creek running through a neighborhood like that, at least for me anyway. That's so cool.
I didn't think it. I was like, no way.
Wow.
But that was like the universe showing me, no, you can start to build here.
Yeah.
And so when you're ready for that bigger space, when you're ready for that land, like you have already built a community that will come with you.
Now, I just asked you what we could expect. Does that also align with the services that are offered? And I know you have something big coming up where we can learn more about your services and how we can take, I don't know if advantage is the right word, but yeah, take advantage of those amazing services you have to offer.
Yeah, so we have upcoming Armida, a brew, is hosting a Room to World Birth of a Business shower for me next Friday.
What a cool name. Shout out to Armida. Room to World Birth of a Business.
Yeah. So
and it's a shower.
It's a shower.
Should I expect what you think of when you go to a shower? Like, I can bring gifts to...
So Armida did have me put together an Amazon wish list. So
yeah.
On the Facebook event, there is an Amazon wish list. It's not required. I am totally fine if you don't buy any of the things on the wish list, but it is available if you have the extra abundance and would like to contribute. It is there. And it's not things that I need because I already purchased things that I need. It's really just things that I want.
Yeah.
And so again, if you have extra abundance, you're looking to support a business that's growing, please feel free. If not, I would love if you just came and enjoyed the space.
Yeah, that's such a creative way to do that. To maybe you don't need it, but just thinking about that for maybe other businesses out there who are struggling with funding to get everything that they do need for their business.
Yeah.
Like say, I'm opening a bakery and I can only afford one mixer. And the community might be able to buy me another mixer for my business shower.
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool. I love that idea.
Actually, the idea was Jose's, the executive director of InnerViews.
Okay, shout out to my man Jose. We love him.
He brought the idea to Armida, and so when I told Armida I was opening the space, she was like, let's test this out. Yeah. And I was like, absolutely.
What a better way to do it. And with three of the most brilliant minds, I said that, not them, in the entrepreneurial world of Worcester coming together and just like, this is so cool. Are they going to be there too?
They'll be there too.
All right, and that's next Friday.
Next Friday, 5:30 to 8 at 1149 Grafton Street.
And we're all invited.
You're all invited.
And it's free.
And it's free to attend. And again, if you can and want to, you can purchase something off the Amazon wish list. If not, you can just come, see the space, enjoy the space, connect with people, connect with me, take pictures in front of the awesome mural that my sister's painting. Which she will also be there, so you can meet the artist.
That's awesome.
Which is amazing.
Take a picture with the artist in front of her mural. I don't know. Listen, I'm sorry, sis. I don't know if she wants to do all that, but that would be cool.
I know that she will.
Your family's so sweet. I mean.
And I do have family. She is visiting from Florida. My twin brother will also be there from Florida.
I gotta meet him.
You can come. I have a twin.
I'm definitely coming. Yeah.
So it's a labor of love, and it's a showing of what I've brought to the community coming back to me, which feels again like another full circle moment because I do a lot in the community. So I'm really grateful to be able to hold that space and receive. Right, because I do a lot of pouring, and I'm really grateful to receive.
You definitely do a lot of pouring, and you deserve all the receiving you can possibly get. I'm sure our community would love to come together. I know I definitely want to be there and support you. Thank you so much for sharing with me. I haven't heard it anywhere else, so I'm just gonna, in my head, I'm breaking news. I'm the first one you're hearing it from. Manny J Media got it first right here. Prism Brilliance opening. And what is the name that we should be looking for on the marquee on Grafton Street? It's on Grafton Street.
It's on Grafton Street. There will be an A-frame out front that will say Prism Brilliance, and there's a parking signal that tells you to go into the back to park. Myself, Armida, and my friend Jennifer from Gem Marketing will be making the food.
I love her too. Shout out to Jen. Was another person who played a key role in all of this. It was you, Armida, Jen, Jose, even so many people came together. Yeah. We love Jen of Gem Marketing.
She's my bestie. Yeah. Really excited to have the support again of the community and the people in my life that I love so much.
All right, now. Unfortunately, we are all out of time because time flies when we're together. Of course. Before we go, real quick, can you tell us what these amazing things we have in front of us are? Because I'm looking at this and all I can think of is Zelda 64 Ocarina of Time?
It is an ocarina.
Yeah?
Yeah, so ocarina.
That's a real thing?
It is.
Wow.
It is a real thing. Actually, native to Aztecs and Mayans. This guy right here, he is the god of the feathered serpent. And that's
a fancy name.
Yeah, he's the god of the feathered serpent or the god of the sun. So the feathered serpent is what, in theology and the myths of Aztecs and Mayans, is what brought the cacao bean. And so, also known as like the
chocolate.
Yeah,
we love you. We love you, feathered serpent. Thank you for all the chocolates.
The feathered serpent is also a being that I feel very connected to. I've connected with them in a past life recognition. And not went here on planet Earth, but they actually come. That species of ancient being comes from the planet of Venus. And so I got him from Mexico. He is handmade from Mexico to be in my space.
Really? And it's a beautiful piece of work.
I didn't know that this was native to the Aztecs and Mayans until after I bought it, because I felt called to this flute, particularly this type of flute.
Yeah.
And then once I bought it, I was like, why did I feel so called to that one?
Right.
So I did research on it, and I was like, oh, that's why.
That's why. It all ties together.
It all ties very much in together. And then this guy over here is a rattle.
Made out of cacao beans?
Nope. It's a type of nutshell. And so
I thought we were tying it all together.
It's nutshells that have been dried out. And so all of this is in my space and more. I have lots of instruments, a lot of different streams of consciousness pulled in back into the lens of natural law, which is what I teach everything through. But the feathered serpent is something I feel very connected to. So they're in the space with me.
I love that. And there's so much of this and more that we can go on a regular basis now.
On a regular basis.
Meet you, learn so much fascinating history and really present relevance in our lives.
Yeah.
That all that plays while getting sound baths, soul massages. That's what I like to call it.
I like to start calling it a soul massage.
Listen, you're more than welcome to coin that term and keep it up. It's my business shower gift to you.
Thank you so much. I might actually have an offering called soul massage.
I would love that, and I would go in there and I'd take pictures with the menu every day, just showing people, look, pointing at it. I won't even say anything. It'll be an inside joke between us.
I love that. And also starting July 21st, on Monday nights, I will have a donation-based meditation from 7:15 to 8.
That's dope.
So anyone,
which is how you started out, actually, because that's how I started out with you.
Meditation.
And the donation-based.
Yeah, so this will be donation-based, so pay what you can, if you can, and then, that will be a regular thing every Monday night.
That's awesome. So we're encouraging everyone. There's no excuse whatsoever to at least check it out. And you can start next Friday at what time?
Next Friday is the Womb to World Birth of a Business Shower from 5:30 to 8. And then the first meditation Monday will be July 21st at 7:15.
The address?
1149 Grafton Street.
And lastly, before we go, is there anything we left out? Want to let people know how to get in touch with you? Do you have a website?
I do have a website. The website is www.prismofbrilliance.biz.
All right. Margie, bro, once again, it was such a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for coming and sharing this amazing news with us. And I look forward to the next time run around. We're going to do it again, of course, because I love you so much and I love having you here. Thank you. And best of luck in all your future endeavors. And congratulations on some things that we can't share, but I know, and I'm just so proud of you and everything you're doing. Everybody, you were one of the women to watch this year, right?
I was not.
This is a woman to watch. You heard it here first. Manny J Media's one woman to watch. Here she is, Miss Margie Breault, Prism of Brilliance. And thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You have an amazing
4th of July?
No, we're not going there. That's my cue. Time to wrap, right? John, where's your finger? We're going. With that being said, it's your boy, Manny and
Margie.
And this is Manny J Media Interviews. Community delivered. We'll see you real soon. Peace.
Silence.